Spirituality can be a great source of community and comfort, and for many people, it can also be a source of pain or isolation and control. And so good religion and healthy spirituality, they welcome questions, they celebrate your worthiness as a human being, they celebrate you as a person, as an individual, and lift you up, imperfections and all. And there's a certain feeling of acceptance and a welcoming, however you might show up. So what is spiritual abuse? Well, it is a very broad topic, and it can be really complex, and it really can be on a continuum. So it can be as subtle as just kind of making you feel incapable of making decisions that somehow somebody else knows better than you on how to run your life. Rather, there's not really a feeling of support, but there's rather just this feeling of judgment, or kind of this overall sensation of like, you should be doing this. And that somehow either the spiritual community as a whole is better than other people, or that there's this sensation or this sense that the other followers of the community are somehow better than you. So there's like a subtle version, and there are really two major components that I want to talk about and highlight as definitive signs of toxic spiritual environments. And the first is an authoritarian style of leadership. And the second is really misinformation that is used to manipulate or control people. So the first, the authoritarian style of leadership, there's this sense that clergy or people in leadership positions can do no wrong. That if there is a questioning of leadership, that you are somehow a bad follower, or not loving the divine or God or whatever your word is around that to connect with that. Perhaps leaders might use vulnerable information that people have shared in confidence as a way of shaming them or telling other people confident information or confidential information. Or they might badmouth people that have left the church. So there's a real sense of control, shame, punishment in the leadership style. And then the other one is misinformation. And that again can be really subtle, that there is this sense that overall you're just doing things wrong, or that God is a hateful being. And there are real horror stories of children being punished to the point of dehydration or even death in the name of God, or in the name of training them, or squashing the rebellion, or diminishing their pride. I work with many clients who were taught that their bodies were really not their own, that they belonged, mostly it was women who were taught that their bodies are not their own, that they belong only to their husbands for their pleasure and use. And that mentality really sets people up for abuse. Many of my clients have been, victims of domestic violence and had their spiritual communities blame them or justify the abuse for them being a bad wife or an insubordinate wife. Not to mention the many cases of sexual abuse that's coming forward in spiritual communities, as well as LGBTQ, gay, queer conversion therapy, that really can include violence or beating or torture or isolation as a method of praying the gay away. And Colorado recently just voted that therapy is illegal, because we are really seeing that it's really a producer of trauma and pain rather than an effective therapy approach. So there's a theme of repressing individual needs and individual creative expression, and the need for their own beliefs. And there's a focus on conformity and punishment if you refuse to obey the rules. So this ultimately leaves people feeling isolated and scared of never belonging to a community again, or questioning their religion or the existence of the divine or God, or there's a sense that God is used to wield control and fear with this ever-present power, rather than delivering a message of acceptance, inherent worthiness, grace, love, taking care of each other, community. So my name is Erica, and I'm the owner of Avos, and one of our specialties here is helping people navigate bad religious experience or spiritual abuse. And so we would love to connect with you more, and you can click on the contact button and shoot us an email, and we can get you started today. All right, be well. Bye.